So last time we discussed Old English verbs. Remember, we discussed Old English verbs. We know that there are two main classes. One is strong, right? You have strong verbs, and then you also have weak verbs, right? So strong verbs are irregular verbs, right? Meaning that when you conjugate them, when you change them into the past tense, right? You have to have internal vowel change somewhere, right? And there would be different patterns, 7 main patterns, right? That's why we say there are 7 main classes of strong verbs, right? Because we have different patterns, we have 7 patterns, 7 main patterns, and then you might have minor patterns within each class, right? And weak verbs do not show that internal vowel change when you conjugate them into the past tense or the past participle, right? And weak verbs are the minority group, right, in Old English, But in modern day English, then we have the opposite situation. And for weak verbs, what do you do when you change them into the past tense? You add D or T, right? So we call this dental suffix, right? You add a dental suffix, D or T, right? So this is just like modern day English, right? And there are 3 main classes for weak verbs. Jiwon, are you okay? Recovered? Okay, so last time we talked about Old English verbs. We have strong verbs, we have weak verbs, right? 2 main groups. And then strong verbs, you have 7 main classes, 7 main patterns of conjugating the internal vowels, right? When you change them into the past tense. For weak verbs, you have 3 main classes, and you add D or T when you form the past tense, right? However, you also have to add person endings, you remember, for both groups, right? Person ending including the information about who, right, and how many people. In other words, I, you, or we, or he, or she, or it, right? So person ending including information such as I or you, this is second person, right? You, and then he, she, it, and then other third person like David or Sukon, whatever, right? So it would be here. And then we have we or you all, you guys, you all, and then they, like that. So you have to add person endings, right? For both the past tense and the present tense, remember? For the present tense, the endings, the person endings of strong and weak verbs are the same, right? So the endings are the same for the present tense, right? So for example, you have E ending, EST, right? And ATH, like this, right? And for, I'm sorry, not ATH, but ETHS. But for we or we, you, and they, the ending is ath, like that. Same for strong and weak, right? Same for strong and weak verbs. This is the present tense. So if you see the E ending, you know that the subject is I, right? If you see EST ending, you know that who is performing that verb is you, and so on. If you see the FETH, this is the thorn. If you see the ETH ending, you know that it's the present tense and third person, like that, okay? But for the past tense, weak and strong verbs exhibit different person ending patterns, right? So for weak verb first, weak. So for weak verbs, the first person, for the weak verbs, the first person and the third person will be with E, right? And then the second person would be with ST, and then the plural would be ON, on, like this. And then for the strong pattern, strong is 0 first and 0 third. Second person would be E, and then everything else is on. So there's this distinction between strong and weak here in the past tense, right? You don't have to memorize, but if I give you the table, like with this kind of information, E-S-T-E or E-E-S-T-E-T-H, like this, you should be able to tell me what the subject is, right? Okay, and last time we did this practice, right, of choosing the right from the verb, and we didn't get to finish, right? This is the handout from last time. So I'll tell you, for example, on the exam, this is strong verb, and then so you know which endings, person endings you would choose, right? So Kuman is strong verb class 4. It means come, to come, for example. So this is the answer key. I think the only things that are tricky, in number 1, even though you don't exactly know what ritere is, number 1 here, right? But you know se, right? Se is the word di, which is masculine, singular, nominative. So masculine, singular, nominative, you know that it has to be third person, right? Third person singular. So C would be the right choice, like that. And then what else? Number 2, this is the name of the person, like otere, you, right? You. Number 4, it, I. So I am, am, like that. What else is tricky? Number 5, this is ye, you all, right? You all, so you know that it has to be plural, second person plural, right? And then what else? Number 6, doesn't matter if you don't know the exact meaning of here, but you know das, right? Das is the, right? Nominative plural. So you know that it has to be third person plural, like that. What else? Number 9, this one is difficult. Theod Vitan, it means wise man. You don't know because there is no what you call determiner. There's no the. There's no other markers to tell you. But the an ending is not singular. An ending is always plural, like that. So you know that it's plural. You have to select the plural verb. Number 10, you know because it's se, right? Se, singular. Third person. What else? 13, number 13 here, as ending, always plural, right? Nominative plural. So you know that you have to select a plural form. Number 17, we'll see this word today. 17, it means each. So, singular. I think that's about it. That questions that are tricky. What about 15? I'm sorry, not 15. 5. Tenas, warriors. Ta, you know ta, right? Ta is plural, right? You can tell from the context ta is plural, and us, as us is plural. So for people who study Old English, they use all of these clues. For example, ta or se, you should be able to recognize them readily, right? Because they are so unique. Or as ending, that's always plural, right? Or an ending, that's always plural. So nobody knows the gender, right? Unless you look at things like se. Se is masculine, for example, right? Because gender is not in the noun, right? Gender is something that you have to guess from the context, right? That you know from the context, right? So people who study Old English, they will have to guess the gender by looking at the ending or looking at the article or determiner in front. That. Now today we'll start reading Old English. For this one, we'll come back to do the first page on Monday. So this is for homework, okay? The reason why I don't want to do it now is that we haven't practiced reading Old English. So today we'll do Old English reading. And then after today, you should be able to understand who is doing what to whom, right? But for this exam, not for this exam, for this practice, what you have to do is to select the proper case and case ending, right? Based on your knowledge of syntax and based on your knowledge of Old English grammar. So, for example, number one, you know that you have to have a subject and an object, right, in a typical sentence, and you have to have a verb. So this is a verb, for example, and then this is a word, right? Right now you don't know what it means, but we'll talk about what it means in a minute. So this is a verb, this is likely an object, right? And you know that it's an object because if you look at the table of the article D, you see the word tone, right? Tone is masculine singular, right? Masculine singular strong for strong noun. Masculine singular, masculine strong noun. Doesn't matter whether it's strong or weak anyway. So masculine singular strong noun. And the case of tone is accusative. Accusative meaning direct object. Now you know who does what to whom, right? So the object is the thing that undergoes the action, right? So off slow is to kill, right? Slog is from the verb to slay, slain like that in modern English. So someone, this is moving. So someone killed the child, which is a person, right? Now it has to be the subject, right? Subject. So which one would you choose? You know, king. This is the king, right? So which one would you choose? It has to be the subject, right? So subject, there's only one, right? In here, say. So A is correct, like that. Tone cannot. Tone is accusative, right? Das Königes, of the king or the kings with apostrophe S, right? This is genitive. Tam is dative, you know, to the king. So none of these is correct. B, C, or D. So the correct one is A, right? Kinning. Say kinning, like that. So this is how to do, okay? So the exam will be like this, but you can look at the chart to help you. Or in number 2, you should be able to do, right? That is that for neutral singular nominative, right? And then at from the verb eaten, which is eat, ate, eaten, right? Ate. So the wife, the woman, ate. Now you need an object, right? So you need to choose the object form. So object form, which one should be the object form? There's only one answer possible. Se, andeo, right? Se is subject. Tone, okay, right? That's not okay, right? Because it means off, right? Damn, to the something, right? So the only one is tone left, right? Halaf is loaf, like loaf of bread, L-O-A-F, loaf. Loaf of bread, loaf of anything that comes in that form, okay? So like this, not difficult. So before you can read Old English, so I need to give you some tips. So as you know, there will be some slight changes from Old English to present day English, right? In terms of spelling and in terms of pronunciation, even though we have not covered every single change, right? You should be able to guess at this point. For example, in this one, in the left-hand column, you have weave, whose, bat, toth, fed, and breed, right? Now, in modern English, you have, instead of weave, you have wife. But you can see, right, that there's a lot of similarities here. Weave and wife, right? Weave and wife. And what else? Whose and house. Whose and house, right? Let's see, from oo to ow, right? Oo to ow. Bat to boat, a to o, tooth to tooth, o to oo. Fade to feet, breed to bride, like that, okay? So we call this the great vowel shift, which happened in early modern English, which we haven't studied, of course. But you should be able to guess, right? Now I have the same words here, right, on the left-hand column. But words on the right, you have to guess. Can you guess what they mean? Weave goes to wife, right? Weave goes to wife. So leave goes to life, right? Easy. Mill, weave go to wife. Mill goes to E goes to I, right? Oops. I have nothing there. So, you know, E goes to I, right? In this case, right? So, meal goes to E goes to mile. Wheat, there are two changes that happen here, but wheat go to white, right? White, the color white. In spelling, we switch the W and the H, right? For example, Whiz goes to wife, so easy, right? Second one, whose goes to house, right? You know, whose go to house, so oo goes to ow, right? Now, moose then goes to mouse. Halud, loot goes to oo go to ow, right? Halud goes to loud, loud. H is usually dropped. So if moose goes to mice, mouse, oo goes to owl, right? So halud should go to haloud, like that, right? But H is dropped. H is a problematic consonant which is usually dropped. So loud, L-O-U-D, oops, L-O-U-D, loud, very loud, like that, okay? So you should be able to guess. Sooth go to south, right? South, namjok, right? Mooth goes to mouth, like that. Bat, in the portion above here, bat goes to boat. So bat goes to boat. Ham goes to home, right? A goes to O. Stan goes to stone, right? Ban goes to bone. Half goes to half, like that. Hope, I don't know what it means though. Just a word. Actually no. This one should be, I misspelled it, hloaf. H-L-O-A-F, we just saw. Halaf goes to halof, which means that H is dropped. So in spelling, it's L-O-A-F, loaf, loaf of bread. Remember, the wife ate the bread, the loaf, and so on. This one should be halaf, which means loaf. Okay, so far so good. Now, last row. So Faith goes to feet. So her, A goes to E, right? Her goes to here, right? Here meaning this at this place. He goes to he. Sweet goes to sweet. Guess goes to geese, like that. Basically, what happens here is you raise your tongue one step above, right? That's great vowel shift. So let me write this out for you. Let me write this out for you here, and I'll go back to that slide. So you remember the vowel chart like this. So basically what happened here is you raise one step like this, one step higher. We call that the great vowel shift. And if it's highest, what do? You go to diphthong, right? You go to diphthong like this. Basically, that's what happened between perhaps the 14th century and the 18th century. We call this the great vowel shift, which we haven't got to, right? Because it's not in Old English. So basically one level. So A goes to E, for example, right? Basically you raise your tongue one level from mid to high, from low to mid, like that. And if it's the highest, you go to diphthong, like that. So that's what happened. Okay? Now, spelling variations that you should be aware of include CW. As we know, CW, we don't have a Q, right? We don't have a Q in Old English. So CW is QU. So quick, CWIC is QUICK, like that. SC is SH, right, in modern English spelling, but the sound is the same. HR, HL, usually the H is dropped, right? Only R and L left. So Halaford is Lord, H is gone, right? Harav is roof, for example. H is gone, right? H is not a very strong consonant, so it tends to get dropped. And it happens in modern day English also, right? Words like hotel, Hotel, hotel. People don't pronounce the H, right? People just say hotel, and hotel, like that. History, some people don't say history, but history, like that. So H tends to be dropped, but it's there in spelling, right? Or the words like hour, right? Hour. We don't pronounce the H. We don't say hour, but hour. HW usually switch WH in spelling, right? WH in spelling, but when we pronounce it, we still pronounce it as HW, white, why, where, at least for many people. HT, nicht, usually is spelled with GHT, like that, so you should be aware. So, can you guess what these words mean? Khwath. You know that this is a TH ending, right? This is a TH ending, so it's third person singular. So, CW is QU, right? Pronounced as QU or sometimes spelled with QU. But in modern English, it's quote. Quote, quote, which means to say, right? Quote. I quote from him, like that. So let me show you this. Quote, you guys know this word, right? Quote, quote, which means to say or to cite from, right? That's that word from Old English. But we spell QU with CW, right, in Old English, as you know. Number 2, SC. How do you pronounce SC in Old English again? SH, right? So ship. This is boat, pe, right? Third one, ash, right? Ash, meaning when you burn something, right, you get ashes. Number 4, halepan. So H is usually dropped, so you only have lepan, which in modern English, A goes to E, right? One level above, so it's leap. Leap meaning to jump, right? To jump. Haring, next one is haring. H is dropped, so you got just ring. Harefna, so you have reef, R-E-E-F, reef. Reef. What, this is easy, right? What. Rich, right? Mich, might, like that. M-I-G-H-T, might, right? Might meaning power, right? Rich, right. So matta, right? Mattayo. And another one that you should be aware of is the same word can be spelled many ways depending on the writer, depending on the scribes, because there's no written standards, meaning people don't agree, there was no agreement as to how we should spell a word, so people just spell a word in the way that they pronounce them. And you know that there are saturaries, right? There are dialects, so people spell words in the way that they pronounce, so you might see variations in spelling. The word old could be spelled with A-A-L-D, alt, or E-A-L-D, old. So you should be aware of this fact. Fella, so E or E-A, which means many, like this, okay? Because there's no written standard, right? Written standards meaning people agree that we should spell this word like this, right? And the word and could be spelled A-N-D, or O-N-D, right? O-N-D, you should be aware. Hand could be spelled H-O-N-D also, like that. So can you guess these words? E-A-L-L, all, right? The word all, modu, like that. The word from, F-A-R-M, you should be able to guess. From, right? Esau, right? To come from, like that. M-O-N, mon, man, right? O and A, people just interchange them freely. Strength, strong, right? Strength, strong. Land, land. Land, L-A-N-D, land. L-A-N-G, lang, is long, right? Whale is wall, right? Wall. So E-A and A and O, people just confuse them together, okay, in Old English. Now, the next thing is there are a lot of Old English words that you already know, but you have to use a little bit of imagination, okay? Burn, this is a really maybe not frequent modern day word, but it means children, like that. Second one, brother, you should know, right? Breed is bride, like that you should know. Chill, child. Daughter, father, friend, mother. Sunu, son. Swester, sister. Widowe, widow. People, not people, women who got divorced, widows, right? Weave, wife, weaveman, wifeman, woman, like that. So these are under the category of people that you already know. Professions, meaning job. Craft, you know craft, right? Handcraft, like that, it means work or job. Shepherd, what do you guess? Shepherd, right? People who take care of sheep, shepherd. Fishery, ere is ER, people who. So people who fish, you call them fisher. Bachere, baker, right? Baker, people who bake. This one, cook, right? People who cook. Smith, people who do metal work, like that. Goldsmith, people who do something with gold. Theof, not a job. Thief, not a job, right? Not a job, but thief, not a job. Maybe a job, but we under professions. Ritere, writer. You already know these words, right? And a lot of them have survived to modern day. Food and drink. Food is mette, which is meat. There's a change of meaning here, right? Meat, we only refer to meat of animal, like that, meat of animals. But meat, in Old English, it means food in general. So there's narrowing sense, right? And drink, drink. Beer. Elu, it means ale, A-L-E, ale, beer, kind of beer. Eaten, to eat, right? A-N is infinitive. Half, loaf, halaf. I think they auto-correct me when I did this. It should be halof, right? Halof. Hungry, honey, M-E-A-D, in today's word, M-E-A-D, kind of beer. Mead. This one is thirsty, like that. Water, like this. You should be able to guess with a little bit of imagination. Religion, a fastness. Abbot, abbot, a title of priest, a rank of monk. Almighty, referring to God, right? Almighty, He is powerful. Archbishop, Chiriche, church. Devil. Angel. Halka, holy. God. Heathen is heathen, people who don't believe in God, like that. Heaven, Munuk, monk, minster, monster, theist, priest, soul, your soul, shrine, like altar where you do the offerings, where you do the sacrifice, shrine, S-H-R-I-N-E, shrine. Okay? War, bedu, good or healed. Helm, helm, things that you wear. Shave, shaft, stick that you hit people with. Shield that you use. Spear, sword, weapon, you all know, right? Shield, the thing that you use as the defensive device, right? Number, an is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. They look pretty much alike, right? 11. Try to pronounce them and you'll know what they mean. 12, 20, 30, etc. To move, Assyrian to move, verbs. Arisan, arise, right? Arise. Kuman, to come. Felan, to fall. Freokan, to flee from some place. Gangan, gang is go, right? Gangan, to go. Halepan, to leap, to jump. Ridan, to ride. Swimman, to swim. Very easy, right? Because they sound alike. To say, sejan, to say. Aritan, to write, ritan. Answarian, answer. Askian, to ask. Book, spell, to spell. Word, right? These are question words that you should be able to guess. Who, nugu, nuga. Hua, who, right? Hua, who, I'm sorry, the first one, who, is how. Who to u to ow. How, this one is who. The third one, where, odi, right? Next one, which. Last one, hui, e to oi, right? Why? We, like that. Now, congratulations. At this point, you are ready to read simple Old English with glosses. So words that are difficult, I give you the glosses here. But you should be able to read. Easy Old English, like baby steps first, right? First line is here. This is what we call Alfred colloquy. This is like a textbook that Old English people used to teach children. So we start with this, right? That's how I studied Korean also. We start with like stories about things like the bear that lived in the cave for 100 days and then to become a human being, and the tiger fled and so on, right? To eat the garlic and then the sut, you call it, some kind of herb. That's the founding father of Korea, right? So we read stories like that. Hungbu, Nolbu, like that. Brother, the two brothers. So we start with things like that. And we study things like Uiteo, Uisongo, Panjak, Pitninda, like that. So we start with baby steps. So first one, can. You know the verb to can, the verb can, right? Can, to be able to, right? But in Old English, you'll notice that can doesn't need the following verb. In modern English, we have to say we can do something, right? Because it's an auxiliary verb, you know, it's a helping verb. But in Old English, it's a main verb, meaning to be able to do something already. So you don't need another verb. To have knowledge for, to be able to do something. So can, right? ST ending is what ending? You remember? ST is always second person singular, right? Canst, right? Second person singular. This is tu, meaning you, right? You. This is a conversation between two people, right? This is a conversation between two people. So you will have a person who asks a question and then there will be an answer, okay? So he will ask about what job you do, what do you do each day, like that. So be expect to read something like that. Can you, or do you know how to, right? Can you, what do you guess this word is? Anything. So can you anything, meaning can you do anything, right? Do you know how to do anything, like that? Can you anything, meaning can you do anything? Again, as I said, can doesn't need a verb after it, like in modern English, because can in Old English is a real verb, right? Just like this verb, which we'll study after the midterm, will. In Old English is willan, right? In modern English, you can guess, is will plus verb, will do, will go, like that. But in Old English, will, like I will that thing. You can say that. Meaning I wish, I want that thing. You can say like that. Because it's a full verb, not an auxiliary verb like modern English. But in modern English, we still have will as a real verb. A real verb. But it's not usual that we use it in that sense, okay? So you don't have to be surprised when you see can without a verb, because can in Old English is to be able to do something already. But line 2, what do we have? Line 2, and we already saw before. Number, and is what? And, a and the, right? And is one. But here there is an ne ending. Why? Because it's an adjective and you have to conjugate the adjective, remember? To match the gender of the noun after it, right? Craft is feminine. So as I said, don't be surprised if you don't see the same an, but with some endings, right? Same word. And craft, which means one work. Craft is work. Remember, we saw that earlier. Remember here? Craft. Profession, craft. Craft means work. Craft means handcraft, like that. So craft is present day English, craft. So one work. Ik is I, right? Can is can. So one work I can. So he says he can do one work, right? One work I can. Now, next line. Who else ne? Who else? We studied before. Who else? Geweld is, remember geweld? Which. So which, why there is an NE here? Again, you have to conjugate, right, with the ending, right, with the ending. NE here is probably accusative, adjective, right, accusative, you have to conjugate, which is like determiner, you have to conjugate it. Which craft can you? So can is ST ending, right, ST, second person plural, second person singular. So which craft can you, meaning which craft can you do? In modern English, which craft can you do? Third line, fourth line. Ich is I, am, hunta, what do you guess? Hunter, right, hunter, people who hunt. So I am a hunter in modern English, right? There's no a here because in Old English articles are not necessary. Next line, what do you guess? Where's, just guess a bit. It has to be one of the WH questions, right? Even though we didn't study here where's, but you should be able to guess. Where's, whose, right? Whose, hunta is hunter, ert, we study, verb to be, right? Verb to be, this is for second person, singular, are, right? Whose hunter are you? So you are whose hunter? You work for who? In other words, whose hunter are you? Third one, sixth line. Ich am, I am, right? I am. Now, this is where your knowledge of case endings will come to play. Das Kinninges Hunta. How would you translate that? You know all the words, right? Kinning we saw before. King. Das, that's say or that, right? That's the. And then Hunta, hunter. How would you translate this, right? Now, if you don't know how case endings work, you cannot translate, right? So, or use your knowledge of modern English. How would you translate? If someone asks you, whose hunter are you? I am, and then king, hunter. How would you translate? Based on your knowledge of modern English. You have to say, to make sense, right? You have to say, I am the hunter of the king, or I am the king's apostrophe S, hunter, right? That would make sense. Now, the same thing. I am, and that Kinninges is genitive, singular, masculine, right? So you have to translate it like, I am the hunter, hunta, of the king, like that. So that's Kinninges is of the king, like that. So that's why Old English is a little bit tricky because you have to know case ending to be able to translate because there's no of for you. There's no apostrophe S for you. But the apostrophe S is ES here, right? There's no apostrophe, in other words. But you also can guess from the word das, right? Okay? Now, next line. What is what? Dest, ST ending, so second person, right? What did, right? What did you? What did you? And then, now imp, we haven't studied before, but I provided the class concerning, right? Concerning or about. So what did you do about, right? Did here, in Old English, there's no verb to do in the sense of helping verb. In modern English, when I say, what do you do? I have to have the verb to do, right? What did you do? Like that. The do support, remember? The do support. In Old English, when you ask questions, when you do negation, you don't have to do the do support. Just put the not, just move the verb. Like, I don't do it. You just say, I not do it, like that. So, what did you do about or concerning Tine Huntoth? What do you think? Tine is you, right? So you have to look at the table for personal pronoun. It means of you, right? Of you. Of you. Huntoth is hunting. Hunting. So, what do you do? concerning your hunting. What do you do concerning your hunting, right? Next line. Ich, I, selle, what do you guess? Sell. I sell, sellan, right? From the verb to sell, sellan, an. And e ending is present tense, first person, present tense, like that. I sell them. Now is the word the. So you have to look at the the table, the table. Say, or that, right? Them, you know, is not accusative, is dative. Am is dative. Them kininge, king. Now you cannot say I sell the king, right? You cannot say that because I sell the king is accusative, is object. So it has to be I sell to the king, for the king, whatever, right? But you have to have a preposition, right? I sell to the king, I sell for the king. Swa, what swa? Now swa is so, but this one is kind of like a fixed expression. I think I provided the gloss. Swa, what, whatever, right? It means whatever. So I sell to the king whatever. Swa, what, is so, what, so, whatever. Ich is me, right? Ich is I. So I sell to the king whatever I gefo is from gefean, capture. Whatever I capture. So whatever I catch, whatever I capture, I sell to the king, right? For them is that, right? For them, for that, meaning because. For them is, I think, because. Yes, here, because. For them is because. For that, because I am his hunter. Right? It makes sense. I sell whatever I catch, whatever I capture to the king because I am his hunter, right? Next one, what self hete. Now, if you don't know the case ending, if you don't know the case system, you cannot translate. What? Self, T, you see the thorn here, TH ending, third person singular, right? So the subject is not you, they here, but subject is he. What he sells, they is you, right? What he sells to you, like that. What does he sell to you? What he sells to you. What does he sell to you, right? So skirt, we don't have that in modern English, so I provide the gloss, clothes. So he skirt me. So he clothes me well, meaning he give me clothes, in other words, right? He skirt me well, and fed is feeds. He give me clothes, he give me clothes, he clothes me well, and he feeds me, in other words, right? He feeds me. And huilum, actually we have this in modern English, but it's not frequent. Huilum, it means before or formerly. My whilum ex, my whilum girlfriend, my former girlfriend, like that we have. So sometimes, so sometimes he may here could be me or to me, right? Same case, same spelling, but two different cases. He to me, HORS is, what do you think? Horse. What do you think? Horse. Animal, mal, right? He to me horse sells, right? He sells horse to me, right? Othe is one of the conjunctions which I think I provided, or and bieg. I think we saw that before, but I also provided the clause here, ring. So it means, and sometimes he to me horse sells or rings, meaning sometimes he sells horse and or ring to me, like that. In Old English, again, word order is flexible. You can see an object before an indirect object before a direct object, and you can switch the order because it doesn't matter. Now, can you guess? I'll give you 5 minutes. Can you guess the meanings here of the words here and also the whole passage? Again, same thing is going on. Seje, we already saw, right? Seje is to say. Here it is. Be is, I think, about. Did I give you that? Yes, here. If it's a fixed expression like tu huete, I give you the gloss. So try your hand. Okay. So what do you have? What, right? What say we? What do we say? In other words, what say we? What do we say? So modern day we have to say do, right? But here, what say we? What do we say? Be is, I told you, about. What do we say about? About, so it's a preposition, right? So you need a dative case. A dative case is tam koke, right? So what do you say about that cook? What do you say about that cook, right? This is a cook now. We are talking about different jobs, right? What do you say about that cook, right? Tam here, the dative case, because it's after a preposition, remember? We studied that. And then, so let me raise this. Weather, what do you think? Whether we, right? Whether we, his crafters, right? Whether we, now, if you don't have the knowledge of case ending, it might be confusing because what is the case of this? What does it do, right? Now, read on first. To awite, we have at all. So, whether we, his work, at all, be through fun. So, fun here is, you know, right? It's the plural ending. So, but I also translated here, need. So, how would you translate that? Whether we, his craft at all, need, right? So, his crafters here is the accusative case, right? But his is genitive case. If, this is if, right? If, give is if, this is the answer of the cook, right? This is the answer of the cook will tell you, if you all, if you guys, me, or to me, right? But we have to read on. Of erum, of your, say for ship here is like friendship, relationship, that ship, right? If you, of your community, right? Ut is out, adrift is to go away, right? If you cast me out, if you guys cast me out of your community, right? If you banish me, if you kick me out of your community, right? So me here is the direct object or accusative. If you me, if you cast me out, if you kick me out, if you banish me out of your community, out of your relationship, out of our relationship, like that. Yeah is you all. Eta, you will eat, right? You eat. Ath is plural, right? Plural subject. You all eat. Eore, your, right? You all eat your. Huerta is, I think, vegetables. Do I give that here? Oh, okay, here. So you all, your vegetables, grain is green. So you all, your vegetable, you all eat your vegetables green, meaning it's uncooked, right? It's green. And ore is your flash, you can guess. Use a little bit of imagination. Flash metas, what do you think? flesh meat, right? Flesh meat. So gogi. Flesh meat, harel. What do you think? H is drop. Raw. R-A-W, raw, right? Raw. So if you cast me out of your community, you eat your vegetables green and your meat raw, right? Raw. And then ne is, we talked about that last time. Ne is not. Magon is may. You may not. Futum is an adverb. Even. You may not even. Fat. What do you think? Fat. Fat is fat, right? But in this case, it means rich, meaning very thick, like that. Thick, rich. Not fat in terms of shape, but rich, thick consistency, like that. Thick or fat. Broth. Do you know broth? Broth. Soup, right? So you may not even thick soup, right? Thick broth, B-R-O-T-H, right? Broth is soup, cook soup. And haban is to have, we study that. You may not have your thick soup, right? If you don't have the cook. The cook is important, he says. Bhutan is about, right? We studied that before? Yes. Bhutan is about minum mind, craft, right? Minecraft. Without my craft. Without my work, right? So, if you cast me out, you cannot eat cooked meat, you don't have cooked vegetable, and your soup will not be thick enough without me, like that. So, we'll come back on Monday to do this. Again, it's the same thing. There's a question and there's an answer, but this one is students. So he asked, Ella, all you guys, all you children, what do you like? What do you like to speak? What do you like to study? Like that. And then they'll say, oh, why do we like to study? What's the value of studying? Like that. So this is the last conversation. So on Monday, we'll do a review for our midterm exam. And on Wednesday, remember, is the general election day. So we cannot have class. But if you want, I can be here.